Good evening. My name is Shana Townes. I am a resident of Prince George's County, Maryland. I'm a community member and actively work in DC with the community. I am taking the podium today before all of you to express my thoughts and feelings about gun safety. There are many reasons I can think of to discuss today, but I'm going to mainly talk about the youth in the city of District of Columbia. Guns are killing our children at a high rate in the district, and I think I speak for many, and I take a stand today and say enough is enough. Thus far this year, there have been 52 reported gun related homicides, and only 8 out of 10 shootings are even reported. The accessibility of a firearm is so disturbing that many individuals don't even know much about conflict resolution, but that yet they are expected just to ignore their issues and walk away. If we continue to have relaxed gun laws around gun safety, more and more of our Black and brown children will continue not to see their future in college, have their first prom, or even start their first job. The youth's chances of being great leaders in their community are being robbed of them every hour. I'm going to paint a few pictures for you on the impact gun violence has had on the youth. Our youth are afraid, terrified, as some might even call it. As a community advocate and educator, I'm interacting with the community and see the fear in their eyes when we're simply outside on the playground and we hear gunshots. That feeling, I cannot explain. How do I tell them it's going to be okay? Or even prevent them from running into panic towards the gunshots? We are all in a place of fear, and the youth aren't even given the opportunity to live without the fear of getting shot. Just imagine when you were younger and outside playing. Is this a fear that you experience? Take some time to think about that. Recognize the reality and the turmoil. Something has to be done today. Last year, I worked with a group of students on poetry, and they wrote down their poems to speak from the heart about whatever they desired. Shockingly, a student wrote a poem titled Bang Bang. And then he went on to express how he felt about gun violence in his city, and he's tired of crying from losing his friends who are simply just walking down the street. The pain in that poem is undeniable. He was only 10 at the time. He couldn't write about sports or world hunger or even video games. His heart is heavy. My heart is heavy. I lost a former student to gun violence last January. That was enough. That mother lost a son who was simply walking down the street with a friend. That sister and brother lost their sibling who was talented and he was inspiring to be an entrepreneur. Just another news story, just another Black kid being shot. No. Why is this happening? Why is it so easy to obtain a firearm? And you may not even be emotionally stable enough to have one. Where are the mental health support systems that are available in schools, community centers, and even your local churches? My acts for Congress today are a few things. Think about the fear in our youth and the trauma they have experienced. Now imagine they are your child, your loved one. How do we protect them? Consider incorporating more restorative justice into the schools, juvenile detention centers, and evaluate gun laws. It is way too easy to obtain a gun. We are tired of hearing about more and more mass shootings, and the only outcome is training the students how to hide or flee. Focus on those illegal firearms and get them off the streets. I ask you today, don't just listen to what I've said, but act, respond, and impact. I appreciate your time today.